Sideways, I appreciate the gesture, the intention of the gesture, but I do not condone any of my viewers going and harassing nobody. Please do not go harass other channels. I know it's fucked up because they can harass me all day long, and they can just make new accounts, but we don't want to harass others. We don't want to stoop to their level. A lot of these people might have mental illness or might have a very lonely and depressing life, and it's something trying to struggle through within themselves. So I try to have compassion and realize these people can change. They're not inherently bad people. They just are making bad decisions right now. Do I like tuna melts? You said I keep looking like my crown's full. I never had a crown. That's the thing. No, I don't really like tuna melts. What the thing is, they say like the real tuna is actually expensive. That shit you buy from the store in the can, it's like not like real tuna or something. And it's like tuna melt. I don't know. Maybe if I tried some real good tuna, and like it was prepared good by somebody who knows what they're doing, I would probably like it. But just taking some canned tuna and making a melt out of it, I don't know about that. Fuck that shit. I have no idea what you're trying to say, Eric. You just put some numbers and letters and then said date 25/4/14. Hey, God bless you, stretch sideways. You said a bit classist. I'm assuming you meant classist. No, I don't think it's classist to admit that poor imitation, fake quality food that I've been subjected to isn't good. I'm poor myself. I've been poor all my life. Poor people saying they don't like poor people food is not them being classist. It's just admitting, the truth. There's better stuff that they don't have. I've never had real good tuna. That's the thing. There's nothing wrong with me saying I would probably enjoy some real actual tuna. Prepared goods, No, I'm not Jessica, but I support all the LGBTQ plus people. Yeah, Mike. Thanks for watching the game video. Maybe I'll do another one tonight. I want to put all the videos in a playlist in order on my channel of the whole game. I want to play through the whole game, and so some people don't play video games, and I'm not sure if they would watch it, but I want to offer a lot of commentary on it. Hello, Rebecca. How am I feeling today? I'm all right. I could be better. I'm just broke, and I could really use some donations. I am manifesting $111 today. So far, I've got about 80 cents, somewhere around there. Maybe I'll say 75 because they said it's 110 for a dollar, but then minus 30%. I don't know the exact number, so just count it as 75 cents. You said what's the plus mean? The plus is like all the other stuff that's not that's not an LGBTQ. Any other gender or sexual identity, Thank you, Pamela. Yeah, I'm part Sicilian and part Italian. You said there's a 2 for 2 spirit. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways that people express their gender identity, and so the plus sign can represent all the other things. He said, "Proud of you for making a killing." I haven't made any killings. I haven't made any killings or anything like that. I'm fucking broke and begging for money. No, it's not that everyone who's not LGBTQ is a plus. It's all the other non-cisgender, and because the thing is, we in our society, there is a social oppression and ignorance towards um, people who are not in the traditionally defined gender roles and sexual identities. So the reason for having this category for all these other marginalized gender and sexual identities is because just like Black Lives Matter, you know, like the point is to focus on this oppression specifically, and for the people who are part of that movement, um, to fight for more education, uh, in the public, the fact that trans people are people, they are real, they exist, and it's not always a choice, you know, like people don't just choose to be gay, you know, and so by having this description, we can um, identify these people into this label or word LGBTQ plus. We can use that term to help educate people. It's the basics of education. You have to identify things, in order to examine them more deeply. You can't just list all of the marginalized genders every single time you're trying to speak of the socially oppressed non-cisgender gender and sexual identities. So it makes it easier to educate people on the matter when you describe things in a certain way. Hello, Yusuf. How you doing? God bless you. God bless you, Casey Jones. Yeah, trans people are cool. They're regular people. Um, just like you and me. You know, they're not inherently special. You know, and there's you know bad and good people of every subgroup in a society or every social group. You know, so it's not an idealized, not trying to put them on a pedestal or idealize them, but just foster more of an understanding amongst people in society that they are regular people. You know? Hello, Josh. How you doing? God bless you. Yeah, I am not trans. I'm not part of the LGBTQ plus community, but I'm a supporter of you know um, educating people about it, and um, they call it, say, an ally. I don't know if I can call myself an ally because I don't really do anything for trans people except for try to educate people I talk to, uh, you know, to dispel ignorance about trans people. But, you know, yeah, I'm not myself, and you don't have to be trans or LGBTQ plus to support uh, marginalized social groups. And the thing is that all of us working class people, even people who don't have a job, even beggars, are oppressed, and that's part of it. If you don't have a job, you're gonna be homeless. You probably gotta beg for money, to survive. And nobody wants to do that, right? That's the threat that the capitalists hold over your head. We live in a society with more empty houses than homeless people, but the capitalist government would never issue housing as a guaranteed human right and house all of its citizens, because then the labor market is less competitive for them, because then they actually got to pay people more, and pay people more of what their labor is worth, uh, for them to accept it. But if you don't take whatever job you can get, or you're gonna be living outside begging on the street and a societal outcast, then that forces you into this position where you have to accept whatever working conditions, whatever pay that they want to pay you, even if it's not even enough to rent your own place. You have to have roommates. You know. God bless you, El Shardy. I'm behind in the comments, so I'm trying to catch up. I just saw your comment where you said, "Love you, man. God bless you. Thank you." Hello, Joshua. How you doing? Um, I'm just broke and really need money. Any support is appreciated. I need money for food. Please help me out. Nice stretch sideways. I hope you enjoy that perp. Yes, Daniel, exactly. He said corporations are buying up the homes to rent to us slaves. Yes, that's what they want. That's the direction capitalism is going. They don't want you to own your home. They want you to rent for life. They want to continue to buy up You know, I see so many videos all the time. They're even buying up. I just saw one this morning in Atlanta. They had all these they call them starter homes, single family, small homes, right? Almost all of them are bought up by the corporations and now are for lease or for rent. Okay, so and that's the thing in capitalism. We the regular working class people never have the power. We don't have any democratic power over our labor, over the economic side of things, you know. And these people who have inherited all this wealth, who have gotten it from exploiting it from all the workers, you know, or both, you know, that they inherently have a advantage, you know, in the housing market, and we don't have any control over it. They can just keep on buying up all the houses, outpricing us, you know, and with inflation, our wages, the purchasing power of our wages is going down so much. In the last 4 years, it's gone down more than it went down in the previous 10 years. Okay, maybe even 15 or 20 years. You know, the last few years have been hit real hard on the purchasing power of our dollars, and it's only getting worse and worse. And you know, eventually is going to be a huge. It already is pretty much a luxury to own a home, even if you got a mortgage. That's a luxury, you know. But you know, I fear in a few generations, or maybe 10 or 20 years, it'll be, you have to be rich to buy a home. That's already what it feels like. The average home in America 10 years ago, $100,000. Now it's $500,000. In a few years, you're gonna have to be a millionaire to buy a home, or you're gonna be $1 million in debt. How does that work out? You try to pay it off until you die, and then your son's paying it off. You're going to start having multiple generations mortgage. The father starts the mortgage, the son has to continue paying it 80 years later. If they even give you that option, you'd probably just be renting. This guy named Finster says, our society would crumble if it wasn't designed this way. Then we'd have much bigger problems. Well, then why has China not crumbled? Yeah, I know they make articles every week trying to convince Americans that China's going to fall. The CCP, the CPC, whatever they call it, is going out of power. You know, but, you know, in China, over 95% of people own homes. I swear to fucking God, look it up. In Cuba, over 95% of people own their homes. In Libya, before the United States bombed them so much and forced a new capitalist government to come in and kill the old leaders and the old government, and bombed a bunch of innocent civilians to change their system so that they could have the oil. You know, before that, they had a 100% home ownership rate. 100%. All of their citizens had a home. All of them. And so, you know, it's you know, the thing is, you have to look at other sources about what these other countries are doing, and not listen to these Western media that always tries to portray it as some bad system and some bad thing that's about to crumble. You know, and they do that on purpose because they don't want you to see what other countries are actually doing for the citizens. The state actually does have the power to take care of us and take care of our basic needs. And it wouldn't make our society crumble. You know, it would actually make all of us more productive, more creative, more innovative, more happy. You know, and just on the happiness point, I don't give a fuck how much you worship the market and productivity for productivity's sake. I don't give a fuck about that. I'm for the system that makes us happy. I'm for a government system based on increasing the quality of lives of the citizens, not one that's beholden to the market for a line on a chart to keep on going up, which means that the richest ruling class members are getting richer and are getting more of the share of the wealth. And by share of the wealth, that comes out of your paycheck. They try to turn you against taxes and make you think taxes are what's getting you, and that's the far right propaganda. But they don't show you on your check how much you actually made for that company in all the hours you worked there, and how much they're taking for themselves. Okay, when we talk about the richest getting more of the share of the wealth, that means they're literally paying us less. And there's a lot of sneaky ways they do this. They make your dollar worth less. You know, when inflation hits, the capitalists raise their prices, not to the point to cover the inflation, but double that, or maybe triple that, even more than that. When they stand a tiny % chance of losing profits, they're going to push the prices even more up. So now they're not only not losing profits, they're making more money and making our dollars worth less. And there's a lot more to it. You said nobody would want to work hard if you just gave it away. False, wrong, not true. There's a lot of countries who provide basic things to their citizens like housing. In Libya, housing was made a human right. 100% of the citizens of Libya had homes. And they were a great, highly functioning society with universities, highly trained medical, facilities, great education centers, great engineering. They even had an engineering project. Most of the country is desert. And they literally had a great engineering project that made an underground man-made river that supplied water to all these desert regions who had not had water come out of the ground where they live for hundreds, maybe thousands of years. All the people that lived there did not have groundwater, and that socialist government made groundwater. This guy Finster says they want people to rent their whole lives, but they don't have to rent, just save up. If you're renting, it's almost impossible to save up because you're giving most of your money you're making to a landlord who's never going to give it back to you. People who come from privileged families who can live with their parents, or their parents help them sign a lease on something. They don't have to worry about this. But the poor working class people have to lose so much of their paycheck on renting something that they'll never get back. It's a class privilege to be able to save up and buy a house. Okay, I just blocked Finster. I'm just tired of it. I'm not going to keep on responding to his fucking programmed talking points that are all bullshit. I am against the Democrats and Republicans. I do not support Biden. I do not support any Republican. They are both part of the same capitalist ruling class. There's no difference between these parties. Well, I gotta make a new live stream because I'm really hungry.
Well, baby, run, Forrest, run.